Ukraine's $400 million strike turns Kupiansk forest into Russia's worst battlefield collapse. Today, Ukraine launches a layered strike that transforms a fog-covered forest near Kupiansk into a cascading battlefield collapse. Drone swarms, JDAM-equipped fighter jets, electronic warfare, ground robots, HIMARS salvos, armored thrusts, and helicopter fire combine into a synchronized operation that dismantles Russian trucks, armored vehicles, air defense systems, fuel depots, and ammunition pits. Analysts later estimate Russia suffers roughly $400 million in losses during this single, evolving engagement. To understand how such devastation formed, the story begins with the first detonation in the early morning fog. At 5:42 a.m. near Kupiansk, thick fog clung to the pines as Russian trucks rolled into a clearing to unload crates of mortar rounds. Engines idled, exhaust drifted through the haze, and crews shouted directions while stacking munitions into an open ammunition pit. Out of the mist, a swarm of Ukrainian drones swept in low, their electric rotors slicing the cold morning air. Before the Russian crews could react, two MiG-29 fighters equipped with JDAM precision munitions, each jet valued at roughly $27 million, streaked overhead and released their bombs. The explosions rolled through the clearing, engulfing the depot in fire. Stacked ammunition detonated in rapid succession, and shockwaves rippled across the forest floor. Moments later, a HIMARS launcher fired a full guided rocket loadout worth around $4 million. 6 rockets streaked over the tree line and plunged into the burning pit. The impacts hurled debris into the air, and the depot erupted again as secondary explosions tore through crates of fuel and mortar rounds. What had been a routine resupply point transformed into a violent eruption that damaged Russian local control. But for Ukrainian commanders, this was only the opening phase of a layered mechanized ambush. Above the trees, a Ukrainian reconnaissance UAV hovered at just 20 feet, concealed within the fog. Its thermal camera painted the forest in glowing silhouettes. Every fuel drum, every mortar crate, and every moving vehicle appeared as a bright signature. The feed streamed directly to a Ukrainian command post buried deep underground miles away. In the woods below, Ukrainian scouts lay in shallow pits, covered with branches and wet soil. They whispered updates over encrypted radios as a Russian supply convoy approached, fuel trucks rumbling, a tracked mortar carrier clanking forward, and behind them a Buk M1 air defense launcher, valued at more than $20 million. The scouts heard the engines long before they saw shapes through the fog. That was enough. A coded instruction flashed across Ukrainian communications. Activate all fire layers, drones, artillery, armor, air support, and electronic warfare. Instantly, the kill zone came alive. From concealed pads, 3 FPV drones lifted off, banking low through the trees towards the convoy. At the same moment, a Ukrainian Su-27 strike jet, worth over $30 million, roared overhead at 500 meters, releasing defensive flares as it prepared for a second attack run. On the ground, a Ukrainian armored platoon adjusted its position. T-84 tanks ground their tracks into the mud, while an infantry squad sprinted beside them, rifles raised and scanning the fog for movement. Behind the armored vehicles, an electronic warfare truck extended its antenna racks and activated its jamming systems. Within seconds, Russian radios across a 1-mile radius dissolved into static. Officers shouted into their handsets, receiving nothing in return. Engines stalled as drivers hesitated, their formation drifting apart. Confusion settled over the Russian convoy at the worst possible moment. 3 FPV drones shot from the tree line, racing at barely 10 feet above the ground toward the convoy. Each carried a shaped charge worth more than $3,000, guided by operators who had trained for months in simulators. The first drone slammed into a Russian cargo truck loaded with rockets. The detonation triggered a violent chain of explosions that tore across the clearing. Warheads spiraled upward, some bursting mid-air, others slamming into barns the Russians had attempted to use for cover. Flames washed across the tops of the trees. Russian soldiers scrambled. Machine guns bolted to sandbag pits opened fire, carving arcs of tracer rounds across the smoke. A soldier fired an Igla missile launcher, valued at more than $140,000 toward the drones, but the missile lost its lock and veered uselessly into the forest. Still, the drones came. A second FPV, faster and carrying a heavier warhead, skimmed so low its frame clipped a stone before stabilizing. It dove straight into an ammunition pit loaded with anti-tank mines. The resulting explosion rose like a vertical furnace, scattering burning shrapnel hundreds of feet into the air. Behind the smoke, a modified Ukrainian ground robot crawler worth more than $15,000 rolled from a dugout. Its mounted automatic weapon barked controlled bursts, suppressing Russian defenders as another FPV drone streaked toward a fuel barrel. To the west, a Ukrainian K-226 helicopter, valued at more than $6 million, swept along the tree line, deploying flares and providing overwatch as the drone assault dismantled the depot. Vehicles burned. Ammunition cooked off. Russian troops ran without coordination, abandoning fixed positions and equipment. Their defensive stance collapsed in minutes, but the Ukrainian command was not finished. The drones had ripped open the depot. Now, heavier firepower would crush the broader Russian staging area. At 6:10 a.m., further behind the front, a HIMARS battery rolled from its concealed position. Its crew had coordinates preloaded long before dawn. With a roar, 6 guided rockets lifted into the grey sky and slammed into the staging area seconds later. Barns collapsed. Trucks disintegrated. Fuel explosions rippled down the convoy line. Later assessments estimated this phase alone destroyed roughly $80 million of Russian combat assets, armored vehicles, fuel trucks, ammunition stores, and the Buk M1 launcher. Then the long-range artillery joined the assault. From dug-in positions nearly 15 miles to the rear, M777 howitzers fired cluster shells over the horizon. Submunitions scattered across every dirt road leading out of the depot. Each escape route became a killing zone littered with fragmentation hazards that prevented Russian withdrawal. Above the battlefield, a Ukrainian MiG-29 flew low at under 1,000 feet and released a precision air-to-surface missile onto a secondary Russian fuel dump assembled from civilian trucks. The missile detonated in the center of the cluster, sending a rolling fireball upward and a towering column of black smoke 600 feet into the sky. The blast rattled dugouts and bunkers across the sector. Russian mortar teams attempted to respond. They lifted 120 mm rounds to their tubes, but never fired. A hovering reconnaissance drone at 300 feet tagged their coordinates, and a loitering munition diving from above detonated directly inside their pit. With the depot shattered and Russian mobility crippled, Ukrainian armor advanced. From a tree line a mile away, a Leopard 2 tank rumbled forward. A T-84 advanced beside it. Reaching a small rise, both tanks opened fire. One shell pulverizing a dugout, another destroying a machine gun nest, still firing through the smoke. Armored personnel carriers halted 30 yards from the Russian trench line, rear ramps lowering in unison. Ukrainian infantry poured out. They sprinted through the smoke, dove into trenches, and cleared them section by section with grenades and short bursts. The sound of close-quarters fighting echoed beneath the thunder of tank guns. Motorcycle-mounted squads looped wide around the engagement area, cutting off reinforcement routes. Engines snarled as riders dismounted and took positions blocking the northern approach. Behind the armored push, an electronic warfare vehicle repositioned and activated a second wave of jamming. Russian radios flatlined once again. Officers shouted orders, receiving only silence. For several minutes, Russian command and control collapsed entirely. The deep thump of rotor blades signaled the arrival of Mi-24 Hind gunships. Flying barely 200 feet above the treetops, they fired volleys of unguided rockets into a Russian flank position, pinning down Ukrainian infantry. Explosions rolled through the woods, collapsing trenches and clearing the path for the assault teams. Inside the trenches, fighting was brutal and close. Grenades detonated in dugouts. Rifles barked at distances so short that soldiers could see the whites of their opponent's eyes. Amid the chaos, Ukrainian medics reached wounded Russian soldiers trapped under collapsed earth. Under covering fire, they pulled the injured out, dressed wounds, and escorted them to safety as prisoners. One Ukrainian soldier dragged a dazed Russian from a burning dugout as flames crawled up the dirt walls behind them. Russian forces attempted one final counterattack. A T-90M tank roared from a distant tree line, followed by motorcycle squads racing across the field. It looked decisive from afar, but the maneuver offered little protection. Kamikaze drones dove in, weaving past tracer fire and slamming into the motorcycle. The formation disintegrated. From a ridge, a Ukrainian javelin team fired. The missile arced upward and plunged into the T-90M's turret, erupting in flame. The remaining motorcycles fled. Ukrainian armor advanced, destroying the remaining supply trucks. The counterattack collapsed for good. When the battlefield finally quieted, the Russian depot near Kupiansk lay in ruins. Tanks, APCs, mortar systems, fuel stores, and ammunition pits smoldered across the clearing. Strategically, the loss was severe. With this forward supply node destroyed, Russian artillery would be forced to fall back miles from the front, weakening their grip on the Kupiansk axis. Smoke drifted above the forest as Ukrainian units methodically secured the area. Captured Russians received water and medical attention. Drone feeds showed wounded prisoners being carried into the light. Signals, not sheer volume of shells, had shaped the battle. Coordination delivered the breakthrough. Across the wider operational corridor, Ukrainian radar trucks tracked movements and fed trajectories to M777 batteries hidden behind wooded ridges. Additional ammunition dumps and fuel convoys erupted in expanding circles of orange. Intercepted Russian communications revealed disarray. Orlan reconnaissance drones repeatedly lost uplink. Units began to withdraw without orders, unsure which routes were safe. At a nearby airfield, Ukrainian defenders held firm, despite damaged hangars and scorched aircraft. Russian Su-34 bombers and Su-30 escorts returned to eliminate what remained. Their afterburners glowed against the smoke-filled sky. But Ukraine had one MiG-29 left in the air. Its radar had been patched manually by ground crews using salvaged parts from damaged hangars. The pilot relied on analog static rather than digital clarity. Rising through the haze, he launched two R-73 missiles. The first missed. The second detonated near a Su-34's exhaust, scattering the formation. From the ground, Book M1 launchers fired again, guided by Shark UAVs flying at treetop height to provide real-time targeting data. Missile trails carved white lines across the sky. By the time the operation concluded, Ukraine had dismantled a major Russian supply hub, smashed support columns, neutralized tanks and air defense systems, disrupted aviation, and regained momentum across the Kupiansk sector, inflicting an estimated $400 million in Russian losses. The question now is whether Russia can adapt to a battlefield where Ukraine's integrated drone-to-artillery system dictates the tempo, or whether layered Ukrainian strikes will continue forcing Russian lines into retreat. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this.